5 things you need to stop doing in 2026 to have the best year of your life. So, these are the 5 things that I think you should stop doing. Stop consuming shit you don't need to consume. This could be TV, entertainment, politics, books, whatever, news, social media, fucking rabbit holes, whatever it is. Stop consuming and causing yourself indigestion or constipation because you're consuming too much, filling yourself up to the brim, and start creating something. Create something worth your time and your energy. Doesn't matter what it is, just create. Be creative. As it's a lot more giving to yourself and to the world than just consuming. Stop consuming. Just fucking stop. Create. Be creative. Number 2, stop oversharing your plans and goals. Now, this one, I've been fucked by this one. I have a massive overshare of my plans, and something I noticed energetically was if I shared a goal to someone other than my wife or one or two other people who are sort of like not in my inner circle, and they were outside of it, and because I was an oversharer, I'd be like, I'm going to do this. All of a sudden, all the energy would just leave, or it'd be really hard because that person isn't treating this goal or this dream or your plans as a baby, as a newborn baby. They're not treating it like that because they don't have that relationship with you or they don't give a fuck. So when you have a plan or a dream or a vision, you need to treat it like a newborn baby. You need to care for it. You got to look after it. Now, when I have my newborn baby, when I have a child, I don't hand a child over to anyone. People don't get to see my child for the first 2 to 3 weeks. Me and my wife have strong boundaries. It's like, yeah, nope, sorry, not seeing me. Or, oh, did you support me through the birth? Oh, you didn't? No, you can't see my child, And that's a good indication of like, is this person worth telling you? Are they supportive fully of you? Now, some people can be a bit deceptive in this area. They can come across as supportive, but energetically, they're actually, or internally, they're envious and they're jealous and they don't want you to win and don't want you to succeed. This is a big one in Australia, tall poppy syndrome. People don't want you to win. People don't want you to succeed. So just be really careful, 2026, but sharing your plans, dreams, and goals. Be very mindful who you share it with. Like, in fact, just don't share it with anyone if you're unsure. Number 3, stop neglecting your nervous system. This is a big one, especially with everything going on in the war. Everyone is connected to the collective in some sense. And some people are more sensitive to this than others. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of heaviness in the world right now. And so your nervous system needs tending to. Breathing, getting out in nature, meditating, eating good food, having sex, having intimacy, cuddling, all these things that the nervous system needs, rest, solitude. Make sure that your nervous system is getting that. Make sure that you're not doing things that's too overstimulating when your nervous system's already fucking jacked up. Just like you're already stressed out, then you go and watch an intense movie. Like, if you don't have the capacity to do that, probably not a good idea, right? So yeah, stop neglecting your nervous system. Okay, number 4. Stop blaming others and being the victim. Stop being the victim. Just stop. Why? Because blaming, shaming, and complaining are just ginormous energy leakers. At what point has blaming, shaming, or complaining ever got you anywhere? Like, really, think about it in your life. When you've complained or you've shamed someone or yourself or you've blamed someone, or blamed yourself, what does it do? Just keeps you stuck in the victim, keeps you stuck in a cycle and a loop of not growing. Basically, it just keeps you spangled. So let's just stop blaming, shaming, complaining. I did this thing with my wife not long ago. We tried to do 48 hours of no complaining and no blaming each other. We're pretty good at not shaming. We've worked through that one. We don't shame each other. We like to have a bit of banter, but there's no shaming in it now, which is good. It's healthy. But the complaining and blaming, it still sometimes happens. Pointing the fucking finger, your fault. Oh, you're complaining about fucking whatever. We did 48 hours. Fuck, it was difficult. It was difficult. We got it done. I think my wife found it more difficult. I don't want to be pointing the finger, but women do complain about they express a lot of their feelings. Some men just keep it all in. They just need to learn to express a little bit, right? However, stop blaming others for your fucking problems. Stop complaining about life and being the victim, because it doesn't get you anywhere. This takes time and effort. This one's a big one. It takes a lot of effort to stop, because you got to work through some shit. But the best way to do it is just, I think, it's just fucking cold turkey it. Cold turkey it. Sit on the meditation cushion. Sit on that thing. Meditation cushion. Boom! Get some meditation in. Anyway. Number 5, last one for you is stop getting distracted. We get distracted by everything, right? But there's a lot of distractions in the news, with the war, in politics, all of these things right now. Fucking Epstein files, massive distractions. Get distracted with social media. You get distracted through friendships. You get distracted through so many things can distract you and pull you away. I wonder if there is Satan or the devil is trying to do that, trying to distract you from you reaching your own potential and your own power. Think about it. You get distracted with lust. That's a big one for me. Wanting to have sex all the time. And it's it's just not going to happen. I've got fucking 3, or pretty much got 4 kids in a few weeks. It's not the phase I'm in. So to expect that is retarded. So I'm distracted by that, by lust. And some people's greed, some people's power or wrath. You look at the 7 deadly sins, and you only have to look at, they're all distractions. Massive distractions. So look at where you are being distracted. What are you being distracted by? That's taking you away from looking after yourself, your family, your wife, your friends. You're tending to your creative endeavors. So just stop. These are the ones. To stop getting distracted is a big one, because we're in a world that wants us to consume. It wants us to neglect. It wants us to be the victim. It wants us to be distracted. It wants us to be numb. It wants us to be unconscious. That's the part of the system. Is it what it wants that out of us. But then you meet it with conscious awareness. You meet it. You meet the invitation, and the calling is trying to bring you into the light. That's the paradox in this, right? The dark and the light. Without the dark, you don't know the light. Without the light, you don't know the dark. You need them both, good and evil. Because then, without that, how would you know? But you need to have a moment. I remember. I just forgot. I've been distracted. And then you go, boom, lock in. Maybe you get distracted again in 3 hours. But you still did 3 hours of good work. Good conscious awareness. So, they're my 5 for 2026. Definitely ones I'll be looking at, especially the distracted one and the consumption one. Yeah. Anyway, go well. Big love. You.